What if the spirituality that you've been chasing, the peace, the freedom, the awakening, has actually been leading you further away from what it was you were truly looking for? What if the path that you've been seeking isn't somewhere out there waiting for you to find it, but rather woven into every moment of your life? This is the message that Matt Licarte's book, The Path is Everywhere, points to. And when I first heard it, it hit so hard because for the longest time I was getting spirituality completely wrong. I spent years devoted to meditation, long silent meditation retreats, hour after hour on the cushion, a strict regimed lifestyle that I had created and imposed upon myself. And somewhere amongst all of that, I made a subtle but painful mistake. I thought that being spiritual was about becoming somebody else, someone calmer, wiser, more awakened. And in doing so, I started to abandon aspects of myself that didn't fit that criteria. The anger, the longing, the insecurity, the mess. I was trying to ascend beyond my humanity, and every effort in doing so was actually an act of abandonment. The harder and harder I pushed myself to be more spiritual, the more divided I became inside. I would push aspects of myself into the corner, telling them that there was no space for them to exist. And this is part of the trap that Licarte points to in his book. The idea that awakening is somehow akin to escaping. That to be spiritual is to move beyond what makes us human. But the opposite is true. Real spirituality isn't asking you to rise above your pain. It's asking you to meet it with presence, tenderness, vulnerability, compassion. Not as ways to avoid awakening, but rather as the doorway into it. Once I realized that meditation wasn't actually about ignoring emotions or silencing every thought, but rather sitting with them, allowing sadness, fear, and joy to move through me without considering them as obstacles to my peace. The path wasn't asking me to transcend myself, it was inviting me to include all of myself, even the parts I didn't deem spiritual. For years, I kept waiting for the day when I would finally arrive, when I would be calm, untouchable, enlightened, done. But that day never came, and it's not supposed to. Because awakening isn't a destination, it's not a state to achieve, but rather a way of being that includes all states. It's the willingness to be fully alive to what's happening right now, regardless of how uncomfortable or uncertain or overwhelming that may be. Licarte says, awakening is not a movement away from our humanity, but deeper into it. And when I heard that, something in me exhaled for the first time in years. The truth is, you aren't doing life wrong. You've just been told that spirituality is something special, something other than life itself. It isn't found in the perfect meditation practice or the next book you read or retreat you go on. It's right here. in the way you listen to a friend, in the way you allow yourself to grieve, in the way you notice the fleeting beauty of ordinary life. The path isn't waiting for you somewhere in the future, it's in how you meet every moment. Once I realized that, I stopped chasing this spiritual me and started embracing the real me, the true me, flawed, messy, human. So if you've been chasing this perfect state, if you've been waiting to become a version of yourself that's finally enough, hear this. You don't need to fix yourself to wake up. You don't need to become someone else in order to be free. You just need to stop running away from who you already are. Because the most spiritual thing that you can do is to stop searching long enough that you realize that you were never separate from the path. Spirituality isn't asking you to remove yourself from life. It's asking you to become part of it, to allow all of it to be integrated with you, so that nothing is left outside of the path. You were never failing at spirituality. You were just trying to escape the very thing that it was meant to bring you towards: yourself. If this resonates with you, if you're ready to start the journey of traversing through your inner world, then click the link in the description below. It'll give you direct access to my calendar where you can book a one-on-one call with me and we can begin this journey together. And if you're looking for more videos on mindset shifts and deep inner work, subscribe.